All right, well, we're here. We're here for another Nvicta Squad podcast.
One more.
This is new. I like this environment.
I like it a lot.
Should we do it more often?
We should definitely do it more often. It reminds me of the old school like garage shows that I used to watch as a kid.
Oh, which one?
I don't remember the name.
It's that long ago, huh? How old are you? 27?
Carry the 7. Okay, 27.
27. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm an old man, dude.
Childhood was.
Yes, childhood was a long time ago, but sometimes we got to do things that bring you back, like swinging on some swings.
That's true. Well, talking about bringing it back, let's go into the intro. So swings, huh?
Swings.
Oh,
yeah.
What do you mean by swings?
I mean, I had to take it back to childhood and go swing on some swings the other night.
Gotcha.
Me and Susie, we were with some friends. We had a good time. Had a few drinks, and then Susie, being Susie, she always likes to do some things that I'm not used to doing.
Gotcha.
So she's like, let's go to a park. Drove to this park, and then she forced me to get on this swing, and it was like I didn't want to do it, and then like it's pitch black, it's like midnight, and it's super dark out, and I'm kind of like, are there hobos in this park? Like I'm like looking around. I got a little flashlight on my keys now.
Oh, I see.
So I was just like the whole time.
Morse code.
Yeah, I wish. And then we started swinging on the swings, and we're little buzzed, so like it was intense, but it really made me feel like a kid again.
Yeah,
because I was like just swinging it hard, and I'm just like, whoa! It was freaking awesome.
You tried jumping off?
It was freaking awesome. I jumped off when we were done.
Oh, when you're done?
Yeah, because I was just having such a good time.
Jumped off, or like down here off?
Like medium.
Just medium.
Yeah, just like medium.
You're not
I was like,
young, yeah.
Dude, I know. I'm like, for one, like I have a manual car now, so like these knees are hurting.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta walk for a living.
Yeah, I remember there was one time. This was like 4 or 5 years ago now. My grandparents and my dad and myself, like they decided they wanted to go to a walk. Mm-hmm. So we went on a walk, and we walked a couple blocks. And my parents, they live in California, so it's like nice, even late at night.
Yeah.
And it was like dusk, and then we went to this park, and it's like newly renovated, and it's been like built by the community. It's super cool. But all of a sudden, like my grandpa hops on one of the like the toys, that kids use. And then it was like this counter. It's not seesaws don't exist anymore, but it's kind of like a seesaw.
Okay.
But it's like a standing version of it.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
so my dad hopped on the other side. I'm just like sitting there like, what is going on? You never see full-grown adults
right
on these. And then my grandma hopped on some swings, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, I mean, my grandparents are like in their 60s.
You're like,
or
am I
70s.
like the Twilight Zone right now?
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like, I pulled my phone out like any millennial and just like,
yeah, right. You're like, please fall. This is going on.
Exactly. I was just like, this is so weird but cool at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like they're kids again.
Yeah.
And my dad normally doesn't do anything like that. Like every once in a while he'll surprise me, or like there was another time, I don't want to get away from the story, but there was one time I took him to Denver on vacation, my mom and my dad. And my dad's like, we went to this museum in Denver, like the main museum, and they had this AR thing, and you hop on it, and it's like a roller coaster. It mimics it. You don't actually ride a roller coaster, but it's like on hydraulics, so it moves.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
I told my parents, I don't know, like if you haven't done VR before, it makes you real sick. Like you don't want to just do it.
Equilibrium gets all jacked
especially one that like moves. Normally you want to do one that's just like kind of stationary. My dad's like, no, let's do it. I was like, all right. So we hop on it, and man, I haven't done VR in a while either, and I can tell you, I just wanted to get off the thing.
For real?
I was sweating
the
entire time, and I was starting to feel sick. And I remember like taking the headset off and like looking at them, and they're just like perfectly fine. I'm like, okay.
And you're like the one that plays games and everything, and
I'm like
you're
just
like all winded.
Yeah, dude, it was weird.
I've always wanted to do that. I think that'd kind of freak me out, but I do want to do that. That seems awesome.
You know what you should do is you take, when you're in Colorado, you should take your mom to the museum. Because it's cool. Like I've never done that before.
I've been there a few times, but it was like such a long time ago that I think they've switched things up. Because like I went as a kid. Well, I guess like super young teenager.
Gotcha.
Field trips, and so like when we went, there wasn't even anything like
stuff,
that. Yeah.
So. Well, what I mean is more like you take your parents, like that kind of thing, because it's like really cool
to see them
be the kids.
Yeah,
for once.
exactly.
Like they were trying all because it's interactive, and they were trying. They have like this health wing where you can do different things to test like your health.
I know
and
exactly
stuff.
what you're talking about.
And they were doing like you get a little pass and stuff, and I was like,
dude,
this is so cool. Like I was watching my parents. Oh, they had this brain thing too, where you put this little like electrodes on your forehead. And then you have to like move this ball. You play against a different, like you're opposing, there's two different teams. And my parents were playing against each other, and they have to move this metal ball and see how, like, apparently the person that doesn't have brain, like if you can blank out, you win because it moves the ball to their side.
Oh, shoot.
And my mom actually beat my dad. She just spaced it out.
Nice.
Just the thing goes, whoop,
nice.
like no hesitation. We actually watched a couple, dude. They must have been on the same wavelength because like it would not move to either side.
That's awesome.
It was crazy. They actually, I think they gave up. I don't remember if they won or not. I'm pretty sure they gave up.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, that's it right there. That's love.
That's right there. Yeah, that's a good household.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
So if you ever want to know if you are experiencing true love, go try that toy out.
Yes. I love that you bring that up though, because like I said, I'm from Colorado and I've been there plenty of times. So you bringing up the health plate like made me feel like a kid just hearing about that, because I was a kid when I was in there last time. So I was like, this is dope.
Yeah,
swings,
dude.
Museum. Feeling like a kid again right here.
I love those things because it's like I love the interactive and just nothing against people that like art and stuff, and nothing against you guys are into the art world as well. But like I love interactive museum. It's like because you can play and touch and feel and it's just a lot.
I've always wished that we had something like that here, like big like that.
Yeah, I mean the Giggle Box actually is probably the closest thing to it. But they charge the same amount that you would to go to a museum.
They charge a lot. And it hasn't even been here for like a year, has it?
No. And I get it. Like they're not going to get probably repetitive people unless when friends come to visit, then they'll probably go again.
Yeah.
So I get that.
We have so many tourists that they're like, that's the main attraction right there.
Exactly. But I want to talk about a little bit about motivation, actually. I thought motivation was kind of like, it's been on my mind. I was thinking about this the other day, like how people like don't want to spend. I was talking about oil changes with my dad. He's like, hey, did you get the oil change done? I'm like, I always get the oil change done. But I was thinking about like how a lot of people, even myself when I was younger, like to us spending $60 on an oil change seems like a lot, but we don't hesitate to buy ourselves like $60 shoes. And I'm just like, but the thing that actually gets us from, and the reason I bring shoes is because shoes also get us from place to place, but cars do as well.
Oh.
And I was just like,
I like what you do
it's interesting. Like what is of more value to you,
Yeah.
And shoes are a necessity as well, but there are a lot of other things that we'll like spend $60 on. But when it comes to an oil change, which it's $60, like I'm sure, it's expensive, but we spend it on so many other things.
Oh yeah.
Why don't we just do that one-time thing that we have to do every couple months?
And it's so worth it.
Exactly.
If you don't have
car running.
Yeah, exactly.
So like motivational, like things like, I know that's like really not inspiring per se, but it's like if you're willing to do like that much, especially like in the car community, we all love our cars and whatnot, but if you're willing to do that much for your car, like how much more do you want to do for yourself? And so like that's where my mindset's been at lately, and it's like goals.
It's just pushing that extra extra mile,
and not like cheating, because I always cheat myself out of like, oh, this goal's a little bit easier, so I'm going to do that one first before the hard one. And I actually asked that's a man.
Good point. I have that problem bad.
I asked a man, you stay up, you barely sleep. And him and I are very similar, but I asked him like, how do you do it? Like I was curious to see like a different perspective. And he said, you got to make a plan. Obviously habits are a good thing and routines. Yeah. But when you make a plan, you got to stick to it, and you have to go in the order that you place them in. You can't cheat. You can't do the easy stuff first and do the hard stuff later, because in reality, you'll never get to the hard stuff ever. You'll just keep pushing.
So it's kind of like the way you make them of importance in your mind and plan it out of like, this is important, so I need to get this done.
Exactly.
Then this is important, I need to get this done.
Yep.
They can be different levels of how hard they are, but if you do them just in the order of the passion and the motivation and the inspiration you have for each one, I like that. I like that.
Because obviously you're always going to reset your goals. You're always going to do new goals and whatnot. But you can't just cheat your way out of it. You know? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to anyone else like what you do. Obviously, I don't care what other people do. But in like my own life, I want to get stuff done. So I have to get it done.
Exactly.
I can't just move on to something else because it's easier. You know?
Yeah. And that's like, it was like this weekend. Like me, I felt so accomplished staying up till 4 a.m. editing. I'm gonna kind of put a plug in here.
Oh, sure.
Editing a music video that I got done. You can go check it out.
Actually, can we drop the video without copyright issues or?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So you can, you can put in the description, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Abdul got them keys. Juice, where's the pop?
Hey, turn me up. I need that. Yeah. Hey, turn me up. I want them to hear this. Yeah. When the closest people.
Yeah. So everybody went out this weekend, and I stood up. I said, no, I'm not going out. I've been hanging out for the past few days. I'm going home. We're getting this done. We got to get this done. This is my goal. And I did it. And it's just a little thing, but just to do that and stay up as late as I needed to stay up, 4 a.m., didn't feel tired, wasn't like stressed out, nothing. I felt accomplished
Gotcha.
because that's the number one thing that I needed to get done this weekend.
Right.
And we got it done.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing right there. And it's like sometimes with my music and everything, it's like it's my number one passion, but
Gotcha.
I don't necessarily on my list it's first, but in my actions it's not.
Gotcha.
And like you're saying, like that's what needs to change is if it's first in your passion and you have the heart for it, put it first.
Yeah, exactly.
And so yeah, I like that. I need to do that more.
Yeah, I mean it's like with anything, like if you want it, then you'll go after it.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like having that mindset to get there is what is important. So
Oh yeah.
Another thing that I'm working on is like connections, like really
Yes.
having real connections, because it's so easy to like to walk past people and not think anything of them.
Right.
You know? Or even I've been like growing up, I was always that person that called everyone, made sure they're okay, like, hey, what's up? And they would always like wonder why I'm calling. They're like, do you need something? It's like, can't I just call just to say hello?
Yeah,
like,
just to check in.
yeah, exactly.
Human
And
to human.
Like, it was always weird to them that I did that. But when you grow and nurture those relationships,
Yeah.
like especially with people that you want to succeed, you know, and they want you to succeed, like you can get so much more done with that because they might have some of the tools or some of the abilities that you don't have to get those things done.
Yes.
And like I met, and I'm gonna plug them in here, and I don't know if they listen to this or not, but Dale and Haley, this last weekend we did a photo shoot and whatnot, and Haley, like, you know, has modeling potential and all that, so I want to encourage that and help that. And then like doing that, while I was doing that, I was multitasking and talking with Dale, and he's telling me about his YouTube career and how that like went to a peak and then like kind of crashed.
Yeah.
But then like hearing that, and it motivated me because I could see that like he wants to do it again.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to do it. So it's like, let's do this.
Right.
You know? So it was cool to like, in fact, that was actually that same night that I called you because I wanted you to meet them, because Al was calling me and he's like, hey, are you going to come downtown? You want to come downtown?
Freak. And I didn't answer the phone because I
Yeah.
was in such a zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I was like, I got to get this music video done.
But I was just like, I was enjoying their company. I
Yeah.
was enjoying the conversation and what we were talking about. That like, and that's not to say that you can't go and have fun and you know enjoy life as well. But it's like that's what's important to me. So that's gonna come
Exactly.
first.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So like having those relationships and friendships with people that can get that's not to say that you're using them for that purpose,
Yeah.
but because you can do it together and help each other.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get it done so much quicker.
Plus, you find people that have a sense of passion for things that you have a passion for. Just finding those little connections, like music and photography. Since I've took that on as one of my passions, I've realized like you get depending on who you know, helps so much.
Yeah.
In music and photography, because you all work together. It's a cohesive type of art.
Yeah.
And so it's awesome to realize that the more people you know, and the better you are at those relationships, it can go a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. How's talking about relationships? How's your relationship with your new car?
Oh, the Mazda Speed.
Yeah.
It's a good relationship, but I'm like, it's an abusive one because I'm beating her.
She's beating you back too, huh?
Yeah, she beat my knees. I'm so tall, she just strikes at my knees. No, it's good. It's good. It's great. I love the car. It's a lot more funner than the STI was.
Gotcha.
I love it a lot, and it's probably because of the blow off valve mostly.
Oh, I see.
But the torque is nice. The torque steer, hella fun.
Ooh.
People don't like that. Like that's like one of the biggest complaints is the torque steer. Even when I posted one of the photo shoots that I did on Facebook, one of my friends from Colorado commented and was like, "Yeah, dude, this is dope shot. These are dope cars, but the torque steer though."
The torque steer.
And I'm like, that's why I love it. Like why would you not love torque steer?
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have.
No, but it is also like, it makes me realize I want to get a new carbon wheel.
Oh, I see.
Because the stock wheel is like, nah, I need some grip points because I need to pull this sucker back.
Yep.
No, I love it. it. I'm scraping all the time and I'm having fun at the same time. And I'm not really worried about like beating on it too much. I'm not sure, like not talking about the engine, but like scraping and stuff like that. It's like a lip, I can replace a lip. It's fine. I'm having more fun than anything, and that's what matters, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Every time I laugh, I always tell them too. Like I see this giant hunk of a man getting out of a tiny little car,
dude.
just like,
and sometimes it's rough. Like today, my back was kind of hurting this morning, and then I'm a mailman, and you guys probably know, and so I was delivering packages today, and I was kind of like, ooh, my back hurts. And so then when I got in the car and drove home, I got out of the car, and when I got out of the car at home, I kind of like stumbled. Like I was like sitting there, and then like I put a leg out, and I like get up, and I was like, oh, I was like, damn, that was low today.
Dude, this thought image popped in my head. You're gonna get pulled over someday, and the cop's gonna think like you're drunk. So he's gonna tell you, get out of the car. You're just gonna stumble out of it.
Or it's gonna be like a day that we've been driving for like hours, and like my knees are like all shaky, and he's like, walk the line, and I'm just like,
I swear, it's just because my car is so small.
My knees buckle, I fall down.
Yep, that's what it.
You're getting cut. You're going to jail tonight.
Yeah. I have to get tags for my car, and I don't want to even deal with the process.
Dude,
right now.
it's rough.
So I've been like putting it off.
It's rough because I had the 4Runner for 4 months, and so waiting for that whole process, that's still kind of stressing me out.
Gotcha.
But then now I have to do the Mazda as well. And I'm just like, yeah, it's too much. And like Susie needs a new license, so that that with like LT and getting his new license, like that's a rough process as well. Anything with the city right now is just
that man got pulled over. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's past.
It's past. Yeah, he got
pulled over with no license, no insurance, and no registration. And he got let go anyway.
I know, like what?
Now it's not to say he didn't have them; they just were all expired.
Like what? In what state do you get let go?
Dude, if that was Cali, he'd be straight to jail.
Yeah, if for Cali, he would have been to jail for the freaking exhaust that he had, let alone all that crap.
Yeah, I was just like, how do you get away with that?
If anybody else is listening from other states besides Montana and maybe like if you're listening from California or anything, let us know what would happen if you got pulled over without a valid license, insurance, registration, a loud exhaust, and all the shebang.
Yeah, how would that go down?
How would that go down? Jail.
Al and Ann we were talking the other day, and I kind of wish that they're here for the story, but I think it's funny enough. But they were, Ann, she's very new to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just because of where she used to live.
Mm-hmm.
But they were telling me the other day, like they're getting ready. I think they were getting ready for a trip or something, or maybe they were just talking about it. But like with insect repellent, normally you take it and you spray it all over yourself because it repels the insects.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they were talking about like pepper spray and whatnot, and somehow Anne thought in her mind that when you have bear repellent, you spray it all over yourself.
Oh my God! No, she
to
didn't.
repel the bears. And I'm just like,
we should just let her think that.
I probably would have let her think it too, as long as I had my phone out. But I was like,
oh my God! Just imagine that going like you get in a group of buddies for a hike, and like you go to the trail, and then you see some girl with her man, and she's just like, she's
and
all
also
orange,
she's just dying. Oh man, dude, I'd be like, I feel bad. And they're like, no, Ann, that's not what you do. You don't spray it on yourself. You spray it at the bear.
Bear
like,
spray. It makes sense though, I guess. Like,
it's a repellent, right?
It's not gonna smell me at all. I got this bear spray on. You ain't smelling me,
dude. There was one time actually. I just thought of this. One of my exes, one thing I learned is to keep fire away from her because she discovered that bear spray and a lighter were really cool.
Oh, she's one of them.
She's one of them. Yeah.
I used to be one of them.
Yeah. So I remember her like she's shaking this up. She got the hairspray and she started spraying on it, and and then she lit it.
Yeah.
She's got this big flame, and I turn around to see what she's doing because I was right next to her, and I was like, no, because I saw the flame starting to go close to the can because it's catching up with the spray, the distance.
Oh yeah.
And
you can see it close. It's like a bomb about to go off.
Like,
you're like, oh.
I didn't know I've never seen or heard what happens when that hits the bottle. But I was like, no. And as I opened my mouth, all of that burnt hairspray hit me like it was pepper spray, dude. And I could not stop coughing.
Yeah.
And luckily she stopped because she saw me just in a huge fit.
Yeah.
Like coughing, that she stopped. But I was just thinking, oh my gosh, she's about to kill both of us.
Wow.
She's having fun,
Dude, that reminds me, like, oh dude, I used to do that so much. It was bad. Like I had I guess it was kind of like an addiction, I guess you could call it. Like anytime I seen hairspray and I seen a lighter in the same vicinity of an area, I was like, it's about to go down. I almost burnt down an apartment complex one time.
Wow.
Back in so I don't know, like not too many people really know like things that have happened in my past.
Okay.
But I was kind of wild, been arrested a few times, done some things. Back in Colorado. So I was living in Walsenburg, Colorado. It's a very small town. It's like, I know some people from Walsenburg are going to be hearing this, so I don't want to get it wrong. I forgot how many people live there. Maybe, dude, I don't know. I'm going to say like 10,000.
Okay.
So my friend lived in an apartment complex, 3rd level. So we're chilling and we're always doing that crap.
Okay.
And it was super late at night. We're bored. He's watching a movie. We're chilling in his room, and his mom's in her bedroom, like not minding what we're doing at all. And it was awesome. And it was awesome. And so we're in his room chilling, and he has his mom has a brand new hairspray bottle, and so we're like, dude, like what the heck? What else is there to do? Granted, this town is like, dude, there's nothing to do in this town. Like, I've been arrested 3 times in this town because there's literally nothing to do. So all we would do is like just go run around at nighttime.
Gotcha.
And like not bad. I mean, like just like there's curfew in a town like that.
Right.
So you're running around past curfew, causing trouble, being loud while everybody's sleeping, trying to go to work the next morning.
Yep.
And sometimes you get the cops called on you for that.
Yep.
But anyways, so we were doing that, and he sprayed it all on his door.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We have no logic back then. Okay. Don't. You're just like, what the freak? Yeah, so he sprayed it on like the top half of the door.
Okay.
And then I was like, this is gonna be dope. And it literally, dude, like we're just looking like
Just
yeah, like it's like this door's on fire. And so we just start like beating it and oh dude, it was nuts. His mom comes running in, and like before his mom came in for a second, I thought we were like trapped in this room because at this point I'm like, I don't want to touch that doorknob.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's freaking flames right there. And I don't know if this doorknob's hot. Like, how are we getting out of here? I look at the window and I'm like, we might have to dip. This window.
what story was it on the story or was it just
Yeah, it was on the story.
like second story,
Third story.
Third
Yeah.
story, and you're looking out a window.
Yeah, I'm like, oh freak. I'm like, I'll do it, dude. I ain't about to die for some freaking hairspray fun.
Damn.
And yeah, so I don't remember exactly. It was so long ago. I don't remember exactly like how long it took to get out, but we finally got it out. Ran downstairs. Everybody came outside, and oof, that was some crazy commotion, dude. My heart's kind of pumping right now just thinking about it. That was freaking crazy.
Yeah, no kid. No, I don't mess with fire. I remember there was one time.
You're like, I don't mess with fire,
Dude, no, this is the last time I messed with fire, and it wasn't really fire. It was a fire pit, but there was like the fire had actually burned down, so it was just the hot coals.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we're all sitting around this fire, and for some reason I don't know how it happened, but this girl dared me to grab one of the coals, and I was just like, yeah. So I reached in there,
Whatever
dude.
you say.
Yeah, whatever you say. I'm like, I'm not gonna. That's there. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I reached in there and grabbed this thing, dude, and I didn't let go. Like most people
Nah.
would have let go immediately. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
it was freaking hot. No, I held onto that thing to where it caused blisters on my hand because it was so hot.
Dude.
But I held onto that thing until it basically turned into a stone. You know, it was
Oh
just
my
cold.
gosh.
And I just to prove to her that I could do it, you know.
Wow.
Because I was just like, yeah, I wanted to be that guy, that cool kid, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the last time I played with fire. No more fire for me.
See, so like we had the same logic, kind of
Yeah,
like who would
yeah.
grab a coal
Well, I
and who
was
would
there
light a
now.
door on fire.
Yeah, no, dude, I did so many. Okay, so growing up, I was always the kid that got all the other kids in trouble, but somehow I got away with it.
You evaded. Yeah.
Yeah, I was always that kid. Like my friends would always get grounded
Yeah.
for stuff, but I would somehow always get away with it. But most of the time, I was also the kid that stayed inside because my parents wouldn't let me outside to play
Yep.
with the kids because they knew I always got them in trouble.
Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, exactly.
That was kind of like me. Like I would stay inside because I my parents knew I'd get in trouble, and I also didn't like want to cause stress on my mom because I was like an only child, so she raised me,
Yeah.
and so I was like, even though I freaking did, I caused a lot of stress, so that didn't work. But
You see all those gray hairs?
yeah, but yeah, that was what happened. We'd stay in, and then when it got dark and she went to bed, that's when I'd like unlock that door, open the door, open the screen door, turn the light out on the
like,
outside
"I'm
so
out."
so you can't see my shadow, and I'm just creeping away.
Yep. There was one time we were playing Capture the Flag, and dude, it was in one of those places where it was just like the thicket, like it's like just bush everywhere, right?
Uh-huh.
But then it had like tiny little like paths cut through it.
Okay, yeah.
And it was like literally, it was like a maze behind a school.
Nice.
And so we'd always play like Capture the Flag or games like that.
Yeah.
Well, one time, I don't know why, but people couldn't find me. Like they were all looking for me, and I didn't realize that they were. We're playing Capture the Flag, you know. So I'm guarding jail.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really a fast runner back then. Now you know I can cream them, but like I wasn't a fast runner back then. So I just guarded the jail. That was my job.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they thought I was out there, and so they were looking for me. And that gives you kind of an idea how big this like thing is. Like, it's a huge
Yeah, if they
maze
can't
thing.
find you, yeah.
And I remember like hours later, I went back to the house, and everyone's already back there. Like they just had given up. And the parents were so mad that they grounded all the kids, and then I had to apologize for getting them grounded, even though I hadn't it was my fault.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, whoa. I mean, I was
I'm
out
doing.
there.
You're like, I'm doing my job. What are
I
y'all
did my
doing?
job well.
What are y'all doing?
Yeah, but
I ain't
like,
going down for this.
it wouldn't even be bad sometimes, but I would still get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or
jeez.
form. It led down to me. You know?
Yep, there you
But
go.
yeah, dude, there was times where like because I grew up in like a church, we'd have to have meetings because I remember all of us boys got in trouble, so we ended up all going to the back room.
Yep.
And that was worse than getting spanked by my dad for some reason. Like just that, like, what did we do? It's
Right.
funny because you're so innocent sometimes that you have no clue what you're in trouble
Yeah,
for.
and then you hear it and you're like,
What?
you're like, I'm a monster. Like I did that.
Dude, that's like with me. I grew up. I still have a hard time wearing shorts, and it's not because I'm insecure or anything about myself, but like because I grew up where shorts were a bad thing.
Oh,
And so
like how Susie grew
my
up.
brain is ingrained
Dang.
that way. Where like if I wear shorts, it's like, oh, I shouldn't be wearing shorts. Like
Yeah.
my brain is programmed that way. I don't
Yeah.
think that way, but my brain's programmed that way. And I do a lot of things.
Just a
like
natural reaction.
Yeah, it's a natural reaction to things. So there's always like a lot of things where like I'll be watching a movie and I'll be like, oh, magic. And you're like, and most people are like, magic? Like, what's wrong with magic? But yeah, like
Yes.
magic, I watch, like my parents wouldn't let me watch
Yes.
anything with magic, you know?
Yep. Oh, I
And-
know exactly what you're talking
And so
about.
like when I watch even now, like I watch Harry Potter, and it's like my instincts are like almost like my own parental instincts kick
Yep.
in, and it's like, wait, I'm a full grown adult. I can watch this movie whenever I want.
Yeah, dude, I catch myself doing that all the time. It's like Thor or something like that. Like
Yeah.
like Thor and Odin, for example. Like when the first Thor came out,
Yeah.
I was like, like I'm in trouble, but this is such a good movie.
I'm gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Or
was-
like Vampire, like Blade. I used to get so trouble for
Blade?
watching Blade.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like that was bad. Like
Yeah.
the vampire and the whole like Satan's son type of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And there, yeah, I was like,
Oh, dude, there was I remember I bought a PSP for myself because my parents wouldn't buy me any type of video games. That was another thing that they had against. So I bought myself, worked hard for it, and I was able to keep it because I worked hard for it. And I had this PSP, and for you know, people that are past the age or past the year 2000 that you were born, a PSP is a PlayStation Portable. So there was this like
Yeah.
portable device and it had discs.
almost like a Switch, but it was like longer.
Yeah, like, it's pretty
like
much
way
it's a
longer.
Switch.
Yeah.
Longer, and it had discs instead of like whatever you guys use nowadays. So you could watch movies too. It wasn't
Yeah.
just for games. So they had iRobot with Will Smith.
Ooh,
and I
classic.
remember I bought I went to a garage sale and I bought a bulk of games, and one of them being iRobot. And I remember like putting the thing in and starting to watch it, and then my dad, he saw that I was watching it. Like I barely started watching it.
Yeah.
And saw I was watching it. He's like, no. And he took it away from me.
iRobot?
iRobot. And I was like,
Why?
oh, what?
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I love that sound. You
Yeah,
just made.
exactly.
It's probably like the same exact sound.
Yeah, it was the exact sound. Yeah. I can vividly remember. But like now it's just like I remembered that I wanted to watch that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, there are a lot of movies that I watch and I'm like, why was I so hyped about it? Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But iRobot was one of those ones that I watched and I was like, yeah, this was like epic.
Yeah.
And what's funny is like, I'll show like my younger brothers in the movie and they're like, this looks like garbage. The CG like is just.
I know, right?
the
People don't
CGI
like it.
looks
Dude,
garbage.
that
I'm like,
movie.
dude, that was ahead of its time.
That movie was epic. That was that movie was classic. It's
Dude.
classic to me.
The Audi R8, that's probably besides my dad like buying me Hot Wheels as I was growing up. That Audi R8, because that was one scene I do remember when I was little.
Yes.
That is what got me into cars. I was like, I want
Yeah.
a car like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that you point that out.
Yeah.
I bet so many car people like kind of like push past that scene
They probably do.
because I didn't really even think of that. But the car scenes in that movie are like embedded in my mind.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And
Yeah.
incredible. And especially like you say, like when it rolls up.
Yeah, because
And
it's
then-
floating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the whole like when it's driving itself and thing, and then he takes control of a car that's going
And then he's got
super freaking fast.
All these robots jumping on,
Yeah.
he's spinning in circles, and you're just like, whoa.
And even the bike.
Yeah, the bike too.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I
Oh
forgot about the
wow,
bike.
this
Yeah.
movie is monumental to car people.
No, like
we gotta recognize.
I watched that before I watched Fast and Furious.
Yeah, how I love that you brought that up. How did that pass me? I wonder how many other people.
Oh,
have
dude,
passed.
that gave me a love for supercars.
Yeah.
Like, because I know that Audi in particular isn't a supercar.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, from what I understand, like they made a shell of it, but it wasn't a real car.
Yeah.
But like that is what inspired me like to like look into other supercars, like and dream about
cars that are like
Just
out
cars
of
in
out of
general.
hand, like cars that you don't normally see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like same thing. Like I remember like across the street, and I'll always remember this guy. He had, I think it was a 2005 Mustang GT, you know, and I was like, damn, like as a little kid, I thought that was cool. I was like 4 or 5 years. I can still remember those years for some reason.
Yeah.
But the reason I remember this car so much is because like that thing has such a sensitive alarm that a plane, like not flying at low altitude, mind you, flying normal altitude could fly
Really?
by and that alarm would go off for
Jeez.
some reason. But I remember like looking at that car and being like, I want something like that someday, you know? And same thing with my Hot Wheels. I'm just like, you know, my imagination was running wild and I was like, I want to buy that like someday. And then I remember buying my first sports car. And I remember like we sat there for 4 hours on my mom's birthday, mind you. She still gives me crap about it. And I also bought my second car, or this car, actually on my mom's birthday again. So sorry, Mom. But yeah, I remember like sitting after 4 hours of doing the negotiations and whatnot, sitting in the car. It was like late. It was already late at night, you know. And I sat in my car, and it was a Challenger, and I was like, holy crap.
Yep.
Like I just bought myself a sports car after so many years of wanting one.
Yeah.
And I was the first one out of my friend group that got one. And I was just like, this is freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
And
I know that feeling.
like I got that feeling again kind of like the second time when I bought the vet. Because like even though like this time around like there was no negotiations and I walked in, I felt like a baller after the fact. Like I walked in, they hand me coffee. They're like, sir, this is where you can sit right here. They said, we'll bring the car around. It's in detail right now. And I'm just like, what is happening right now?
Right.
I remember having to go somewhere and try to negotiate a price just so I can buy the thing and afford it.
Yep.
And now I'm the person that already paid for the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just walking in to pick up my ride. Like, it's crazy how much things have changed.
Oh, dude, so I got that feeling with the STI, and then I got that feeling with the 4Runner, because the STI was the car goal, 4Runner was the SUV goal.
Gotcha.
All the time, ever since a little kid. I remember in Walsenburg. So when I lived in Walsenburg, I was about 14 and a half, 15. I hadn't even had my permit yet.
Oh, I see.
And my mom let me take her car to the next town one time.
Gotcha.
Which because it's a small town, and so in small towns, you know, kids are driving like sometimes you just gotta drive to the grocery store. Like it's a normal thing.
It still is a normal thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like in big towns it's not as much, but like little towns, it's almost like like country towns. Like kids are always driving. So we drove to the next town, and it was just me and my friends, and it's a college town. It's about 30 miles away. And all the college kids there had STIs.
Oh, I see.
Like bad STIs. And they were the at that point it'd be the bug eyes. Okay. So but they were super dope, super nice. I remember some of them were like real low and like just super loud. Gotcha. And besides the movies, that was my first time experiencing real live STIs.
I see.
And so at that point, I was just like, dude, I have to have one of these like one day. So then when I got mine, took a while. But when I got mine, I had that same feeling. I was like, I remember taking my mom's car and I didn't even have a permit, driving to the next town just to see these suckers. Yeah. And now I'm sitting in a 2018 red one. Like, dude, this is freaking awesome. Yeah.
Well, especially like, and I think you had a similar background where you come from like nothing, you know?
Yeah. Like,
and I think most people can relate with that. You know, you grow, like we literally got to the point where we were living in a minivan.
Yeah. See, like you had it like crazy, like much more nothing than I had. But still, like there was points where it's like everything I have now is worked for under me, which is nice. But yeah, it's super. That's a nice feeling because like even when I moved here, I had to take the bus to the mall to work at Finish Line. I was taking the bus back and forth, skateboarding to the bus stops, and then taking the bus back and forth. And then, so to have an STI in the same town I was taking a bus in at one point is just freaking awesome.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. It's interesting how you can like be around town and you see all these people like they're cheering you. You have two different crowds. You got the people that are cheering you on. Oh, that's a super cool card. Like, what do you do for a living? You know, and they appreciate it, you know?
Yeah.
And then you got the other side of the spectrum where people are like, oh, that must be daddy's money. And it's like some people do. Like some people, they grow up with that, you know? But like the people that don't understand, like you came from nothing.
Yeah.
And to have this, like, you're proud of that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you almost can't hear it, you know? It's
Right.
almost like you can't hear the haters.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you know what you've done.
Oh, yeah.
What you've accomplished, you know?
Oh yeah. The minute I turn that baby on, it's like, dude, I'm good. Like, you can talk all because like I work with a lot of older people at the post office, and I know ain't none of them gonna hear this, so it's all good.
They don't even know what Spotify is.
And I know, and they're like, it's so negative, dude. And like when I got the STI, negative, like negative. Like maybe like a few people, like one or two people were like, oh, dude, that's dope. But you know, like at the end of the day, you can tell like it's not really that genuine.
Sure.
So it's like, but at that point, it's like, dude, I don't really care. Like this is all me.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's like going back to your significant other or something. You're just going to something that is home.
Yeah.
Like
exactly. This was what was supposed to happen. So you can chill out and say what you want because this was what I envisioned and this is how it's supposed to go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually working on a song called, kind of inspired from Ollie. Like this was supposed to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Something like that.
Nice.
So I'm working on that because like I don't think a lot of people like have heard that like I was paralyzed. And so like, I'm going to go back to that point in my life and kind of just relive that moment.
Yeah.
Because like, that's one thing that I like always remind people is like, you don't want to live in the past, but remember the past.
Yes. And like, that's like, I love talking about the past in my music. And, I haven't been able to even touch on the past yet because I only have so many songs out. But that's a big focus of the projects that I have coming out this year and the year after. Is like just talking about little things like that, but also the big moments of what basically started your whole movement of wanting better and wanting things to happen. Yeah.
No, because it's important. Like for me, it's like, what am I going to leave behind? What type of legacy is going to be? Like, what are they going to remember the name? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, that's where my mindset's always at, like looking to the future.
Yeah.
But always remembering where you came from.
Exactly.
You know, so you don't lose yourself.
Cause like, we're the type of like, I know me, like a lot of people look down on that too. Like that you want to be remembered. Like cause some people just don't care.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's totally fine. Like, nothing against you, but me, like I do want to have a legacy. Like I do want to have people remember me for something good.
Yeah.
And for like a person that went out and put what was in his mind into action. And so that's the goal right there. Yeah.
There was actually a moment that I had, I got really sick when I went on vacation. I always get sick when I go on vacation, actually.
Yeah, you do.
And in fact, I was starting to feel, I'm taking tomorrow off and I was starting to feel very sick today. I'm like, no, not again. But I went on vacation and I got so sick I couldn't even get out of bed. And my grandma was pretty much taking care of me. Everyone else got to go to the theme parks but me. I got sick. Like, trust me, I would have wanted to go to the theme parks, but I was that sick that I just couldn't go. And it wasn't my parents, it was me. I was like, I can't go. But anyway, so I'm that sick. But I remember like being in the room because we're staying with my grandparents and like looking around the room and there's a bunch of pictures, you know, and a lot of them are pictures from the past because of my grandparents' house, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember like sitting there and just like wondering like, who are these people? You know, like I've never seen them before.
Right.
And so I started asking my grandma, like, who are these people? Then she started telling me like they're your relatives or, you know, they're, you know, people that they knew and whatnot. And it got me like really thinking in my, you know, sickened state that like think of like a picture that's taken of you. You're one person, you know? And it's kind of like, and I don't like speak a lot about God, but like, and I don't want to put the whole subject on that, but like, think of like the photographer being God and then you got yourself as the subject. Like, who's going to be able to talk about that person in that frame? You know what I mean? And I wrote a song, Frames. This is kind of where this idea came from.
Okay.
And so the idea that as you fill that frame or that picture with more people, the more it will be remembered because there's more people to talk about that moment.
Oh.
Because if it's just you, only one other person is going to be able to remember that moment.
Yeah.
But when you have a lot more people in that picture, there's a lot more people that are being able to say that's who that is.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Wow. And so, like, yeah, it's just one of those thoughts that I had. Like, what type of legacy are you going to leave behind? Like, what are you framing?
Yeah.
What's your structure?
Right.
So, anyway,
I like that. That's something to think about.
Oh yeah,
for everybody, all y'all out there.
But anyway, I wanted to make this podcast a little bit more motivational, a little bit more, just outside of the funny stories and whatnot.
Because that's what we do too. Like, we have conversations, plain conversations. This is where our conversations go.
Yeah, sometimes we'll literally spend an entire work day on the phone while we're working, mind you. It's not that we're not working. Yeah. But like talking about stuff in life and
goals and staying motivated.
And
this is what we do.
So this is just natural.
Yep.
But anyway, with that, we're gonna close out for the night. We'll see you guys on the next Nvicta Squad.
Later.
Peace out.
When the closest people doubt you, don't make me move without you. You say you're a friend to me, but I see you don't believe in me. Well, now I have to live my life without you. That's something I can't sit around and bounce to. When the closest people doubt you, don't make me move without you. You say you're a friend to me, but I see you don't believe in me. Well, now I have to live my life without you. That's something I can't sit around and bounce to. And I can't vibe with the fact that you sit around me and you act lying to my face, man, that's whack. Telling me you believe in me, but where your actions at? We supposed to be those boys, had your back. And because I got a big dream, now you ain't feeling that. Cause you mad that I could really rap, it's a silly fact, but I had to express that. And it's crazy that our relationship ended up teaching me a lesson. I'ma shoot for the stars without your blessing. I'ma keep doing me. Success is my destiny. Success is repetition. Hope you listen, pay attention. Ambition, what I'm dishing. Now you gone missing from my life. I need better vibes.